Good morning, guys. Our topic for today is bioecological perspective. We are now on Module 2, Understanding the Self. Bronfenbrenner's ecological system theory. We'll be talking about Bronfenbrenner's ecological system theory by American psychologist Yuri Bronfenbrenner, 1917 to 2005. He formulated the ecological systems theory. His theory focuses on the quality and context of the child's development. The model suggests the interaction between the individual and their environment, categorized into various systems, shape their development over time. The model organizes context of development into 5 levels of external influence. These levels are categorized from the most intimate level of the person to the broadest. You can see on the screen, the child is the center of the ecological system. And here is the microsystem or the immediate environment, the mesosystem or the connections, and here is the exosystem, indirect environment. We have the macrosystem or the social and cultural values, and then the chronosystem or changes over time. So this is the Bronfenbrenner ecological systems theory. So the individual has age, sex, and special needs. The microsystem is the smallest and most immediate environment in which children live. Interaction within the microsystem typically involve personal relationships with family members, classmates, teachers, and caregivers. How these groups or individuals interact with the children will affect how they grow. The microsystem for children, like who do they live with or interact with, and what is their relationship with those people. Okay, this include the people with whom they interact with. Do they have supportive teachers? For example, the teachers, their parents. Is the parent feeling stressed out by money? Are the parents fighting? Is the child being bullied? For adults, examples are job, class, or place where they live. Consider this. A healthy ecology has family that is bonded together and they have positive discipline in the family. In the school, the teachers are very supportive and they have academic success. They are given the chance to have academic success in school. And they have peers that are accepting and they have pro-social values with other people with their peers. A high-risk ecology means having a family that insecurely bonded and the family and the discipline in the family is inconsistent. They are in conflict with teachers and they experience academic failure. They have conflict with peers and they have anti-social values. Ponder on this. Given two siblings experiencing the same microsystem, is it possible for the development of them to progress in different manners? Each sibling or each child's particular personality traits, such as temperament, which is influenced by unique genetic and biological factors, ultimately have a hand in how he or she is treated by others. Now let's go to mesosystem. Mesosystem contains the relationship between the microsystems. The mesosystem encompasses the interaction of the different microsystems which children find themselves in. It is in essence a system of microsystems and as such involves linkages between home and school, between peer group and family, and between family and community. It is an interaction of different microsystems which children find themselves in. Mesosystem for a child, example, do the parents get along with the teacher? Do they trust the teacher? Do they feel comfortable going to the teacher if there is a problem? Or it might be relationships between where the kid lives and their family. If they live in an unsafe area, how does this maybe affect the rules that their parents are setting for them? Ponder on this. In a hypothetical situation, how does the relationship between your family, friends, and your special someone might affect your relationship with him or her? Why? The exosystem. The exosystem pertains to the linkages that may exist between two or more settings, one of which may not contain the developing children but affects them indirectly nonetheless. Based on the findings of Bronfenbrenner, people and places that children may not directly interact may still have an impact on their lives. Such places and people may include the parents, workplaces, extended family members, and the neighborhood the children live. Exosystem. So for parents, maybe it's the relationship between the parent's job and the kid's school. If the parents have really fluctuating work hours or must work very long hours, the child is not directly involved in the parent's workplace, but this will affect things like whether the parents are able to volunteer in the kid's school. Quick question. What certain events or situations of your friends that could affect you in what way? The macrosystem. The macrosystem is the largest and most distant collection of people and places to the children that they still have significant influences on them. The ecological system is composed of the children's cultural patterns and values, specifically their dominant belief and ideas, as well as political and economic system. Macrosystem, so this can be Filipino culture, but of course, that's not one monolithic culture. So we can also talk about the culture of a religious group or military culture or the culture of very urban versus rural areas. We can also look at broad social contexts such as the country's political climate. Ponder on this. Cite examples as to how the following affects your development: culture, laws, social status. Now let's go to chronosystem. The chronosystem is made up of the environmental events and transitions that occur throughout a child's life, including any socio-historical events such as change in family structures, address, parents, employment status, as well as immense society changes such as economic cycle and wars. For example, of chronosystem, a child who frequently bullies smarter children at school may portray the role of a terrified victim at home. Due to these variations, adults who are concerned with the care of a particular child should pay close attention to his or her behavior in different settings, as well as to the quality and type of connections that exist between these settings. Chronosystem. Part of this relates to when events occur in a person's life. For example, we can talk about how people are typically affected by becoming parents, but the effects are very different if someone becomes a parent for the first time at age 16 or 26 or 36. The other element of the chronosystem is the larger historical context. So, for example, somebody who is in their 40s today might have different views about money and different spending habits compared to what today's 20-year-olds will do. Quick question. Based on the story of your parents, what are the things that they did when they were your age and the things you no longer do nowadays? What might affect the difference between your behavior? One behavior, many contexts. What will a student major in? Will she succeed in his or her chosen course? Self or intelligence, learning disabilities, motivation? Microsystem. What does your parents want you to take? Can they support you financially in the course that you want? Mesosystem. Perhaps your parents want you to take, mesosystem. Perhaps your parents have friends who in the school and recommend certain programs, course your friends want. Exosystem. Parents want you to take a course suggested by their parents. Macrosystem. cultural norms and values regarding the importance of education and which majors are appropriate for them. State regulators set tuition and fees. Politicians can raise or lower the education budget. Chronosystem. Would your choice of course be affected by the new normal pandemic? Please answer this. Identify the factors in the different system that will contribute in the success of your studies. Assignment. Who are the people that will affect your decisions in making friends with the opposite sex? Why? Every child needs at least one adult who is irrationally crazy about him or her. Yuri Bronfenbrenner. Thank you. See you next week.